In America, since the time America had gained independence, this is the third and final part of the American Constitution. In America, since independence, an ordinary citizen does not elect the president. They do it through what is called an electoral court. No, electoral college. They do it through an election college. I will explain how it started and all that in a simplified manner. But the nearest in Kenya we have ever heard of an election college is when Ford originally was broken into two. Jaramogi and his team were fighting for the selection of Ford presidential candidate in 1992 to be elected through an election college. Matiba and his group were fighting for universal suffrage. Sincerely, Kenya in 1992, it was hard for universal suffrage in a party like Ford because they did not have, no party had a register. Maybe KANU, but no party had a register, and it was possible to register in a number of parties. In the morning you wake up, you go and vote, you vote in the DP. In the afternoon you go and vote in the Ford, and so on. Electoral college is when delegates meet in Kasarani and decide who will be the presidential flag bearer. In the American system, they started off that when the 13 states formed, there used to be members of parliament, as we can call it in Kenya. That is, members of the House of Representatives and the Senate. They converged and decided who will be the president. The system went on until some time when it was replaced, whereby each state, we have 50 states with senators, but we have a few others, including Puerto Rico, which has House of Representatives, but they do not have a senator. So each state has some people in the Congress, that is both members of the Senate and the House of Representatives. So you find that you people go and vote in your state. When you go to vote in your state, you vote, the results come. When the results come, if you have won most of the states, there is a few, like there is one state in the New England area, that is northeast of the USA, which has 5 delegates. And in the last elections, 2 delegates were won by Republican and 3 delegates were won by Democrats. But in most states, if you win in a state by even 1 vote, then you take all the delegates. Now, as you see, as we talked about in the first tape about representatives, the MPs, that is the House of Representatives, are elected according to population. Now you find that each state has 2, whether it is a small state or large. So you find that the largest states are California and Texas. If today you won all the delegates from Texas and California combined, there's no need. You have already won. You have already surpassed the number. But the 2 vote on the 2 sides of the coin. So it's hard for the 2 to vote on one side. So what happens is that in most states you win by 1 and you take all the delegates. In most states, the delegates are chosen by the party. For example, in Luo Nyanza, you find that ODM wins all the seats. So ODM will send all the delegates. But in some states, the delegates are not bound by their party. So when you choose delegates, you have to choose delegates that you are sure hawatafika Kasarani wanunuliwe, or they change their mind. But those delegates rarely meet. What usually happens is that each party, after counting what other parties have won, projection by news companies, CNN, what you call them, they just projected that this state and that state has been taken. Once the projection shows that you have lost, the first thing you do is you pick a phone call and call the other candidate and congratulate him. If the candidate is a senator, just like Obama, you will call him and you'll tell him this way in a phone. Senator Obama, how are you? Obama will say, I'm fine. They say, I want to be the first person to congratulate you for being elected as the next president of the USA. Congratulations, Mr. President. And then that is when Obama goes and makes his acceptance speech. That is how Americans choose their presidents.